40 million fans do not happen by accident. Flamengo did not become Brazil's biggest club because of one trophy, one generation, or one lucky era. It became huge because it stopped being just a football team from Rio and became an identity. That is the real story. Flamengo was born in 1895 as a rowing club. Football only arrived in 1911 when a group of players left Fluminense and created Flamengo's football department. Just a year later, Flamengo played its first match, and by 1914, it had already won its first Rio state title. But trophies alone do not explain what came next. To understand how Flamengo became massive, you have to understand Brazil in the 1930s. At that moment, radio was transforming football, and the games most people heard were the ones from Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. That mattered, because Rio was not just a city, it was the capital of Brazil. It was the political center, the media center, and the stage where the country watched itself. And Flamengo learned how to use that moment better than anyone. During the Vargas era, when Brazil was trying to build a stronger national identity, Flamengo pushed a powerful idea that supporting Flamengo was almost like supporting Brazil itself. The club embraced slogans that linked Flamengo to the nation. One of them said it all: a strong Flamengo, a stronger Brazil. That was not just marketing, that was nation building through football. And when Flamengo won the 1939 state title, that message started to stick. The club was no longer just local, it was becoming national. That is why Flamengo spread far beyond Rio. Its support exploded in places thousands of kilometers from the city: the north, the northeast, the center-west. Regions where local football culture existed, but where Flamengo arrived through radio, spectacle, and repetition. That nationwide reach still defines the club today. Recent surveys still place Flamengo as the biggest fan base in Brazil, and especially strong in the north, northeast, and center-west. Then came the era that turned popularity into mythology. Zico, the late 1970s, the early 1980s. This was the moment when Flamengo stopped being only the most loved club and started looking like the strongest one too. Flamengo won the Brazilian Championship in 1980. Then came 1981, Copa Libertadores, and the Intercontinental Cup against Liverpool. That was the year Flamengo became more than a Brazilian giant. It became a global football symbol, and the titles kept coming. Most clubs have one of the two things that build greatness. They have either giant support or giant success. Flamengo built both. It created a national fan base first. Then it fed that fan base with unforgettable triumphs. And when the modern era arrived, Flamengo did it again. Libertadores in 2019. Libertadores again in 2022. Copa do Brasil in 2022 and 2024. Brazilian League titles in 2019, 2020, and 2025. By 2025, Flamengo had even entered Deloitte's top 30 richest clubs in the world. So how did Flamengo become Brazil's biggest club? Not from one match, not from one idol, not from one generation. It became huge because it was born in the right city, captured the national imagination at the right time, spread across the country before most clubs could, and then kept winning enough to turn passion into permanence. That is why Flamengo is not just a club. It is a nation wearing red and black. And that is how Flamengo became Brazil's biggest club.